Are flu cases down 98% across the globe? That's unclear. Lead stories could find no evidence to support the specific statement that cases fell 98% worldwide. A Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) report includes the 98% figure, but refers only to data from labs in the United States. It's not a global statistic. The claim appeared as a tweet on October 26, 2020. Posted by Dr. David Samadi, MD, it read, quote, "Flu cases are down 98% across the globe." End quote. This is what the post looked like on Twitter at the time of writing. Source: Twitter screenshot taken on Tuesday, October 27, 18 hours 10 minutes and 46 seconds 2020 UTC. The post did not offer any evidence for its claim. Lead Stories reached out to Samadi to ask about his source and will update this story, as appropriate, when he responds. Samadi's claim resembles a question posed by the Mail on Sunday's article, published October 24, 2020, entitled, "Has COVID killed off the flu?" Experts posed the intriguing question as influenza cases nosedive by 98% across the globe. Apart from the headline, the only other place in the story where the 98% figure was mentioned is in the context of Public Health England (FE), a government agency. The article read, quote, "Other research by Public Health England has confirmed this. Globally, it is estimated that rates of flu may have plunged by 98% compared with the same time last year." End quote. Lead Stories reached out to Public Health England to confirm the accuracy of the 98%. A spokesperson responded that the stat appears to be a misattribution, as FE does not collect global numbers of flu cases. We also reached out to the author of the article to ask about her source for the figure. We will update this story, as appropriate, when she responds. The only support for a claim of a 98% reduction in flu cases comes from a recent report from the CDC. Entitled Decreased Influenza Activity During the COVID-19 Pandemic, United States, Australia, Chile, and South Africa, 2020, the report looks at the relatively low rates of flu amid the global crisis. Here's what it said, quote, "Data from clinical laboratories in the United States indicated a 61% decrease in the number of specimens submitted from a median of 49,696 per week during September 29, 2019 to February 29, 2020, to 19,537 during March 1 to May 16, 2020, and a 98% decrease in influenza activity as measured by percentage of submitted specimens testing positive from a median of 19.34% to 0.33%. End quote. Note that the 98% number is referring to data from clinical labs in the United States. It's not a comment on global cases, although flu activity is low worldwide. The CDC report discusses a number of reasons why flu numbers might be lower than usual, including public health measures, like face masks, social distancing and school closures, that were adopted this year to stem the spread of COVID-19. Both diseases are spread primarily via droplet transmission. Here's more from the report, quote, "The global decline in influenza virus circulation appears to be real and concurrent with the COVID-19 pandemic and its associated community mitigation measures. Influenza virus circulation continues to be monitored to determine if the low activity levels persist after community mitigation measures are eased. If extensive community mitigation measures continue throughout the fall, influenza activity in the United States might remain low and the season might be blunted or delayed." End quote. Still, the CDC cautioned that in the midst of the uncertainty surrounding COVID-19, it's important to prepare for the upcoming U.S. flu season, which takes place in fall and winter. It encouraged people to get flu shots. The report read, quote, "Influenza vaccination for all persons aged as greater than or equal to 6 months remains the best method for influenza prevention and is especially important this season when SARS-CoV-2 and influenza virus might co-circulate." End quote. This point touches on a final comment worth making about the post's claim that flu cases are down 98% across the globe. It's unclear what time period the post is talking about. Generally, influenza activity in the United States begins to increase in October and peaks months later. In other words, the U.S. flu season is just getting started. Although influenza activity is currently low, it may yet be too early to make any definitive conclusions about whether cases are indeed lower than in previous years. Lead Stories reached out to the CDC and the World Health Organization for comment on this story. We will update, as appropriate, when they respond.